How are you guys doing? Good. Who's excited to be here? Yeah, we got people from all over the country here today. Is anybody from Colorado? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, there we go. I'm from Colorado, so that's why I get excited. I'm super excited to talk to you guys today, and I can't wait. 2 years ago, I was sitting in your seat here, and I can't believe that I'm back here in Silicon Valley with you guys. When I was in high school, I started a K-8 tutoring program called Grades for Change. Grades for Change was a tremendous success, you guys. It spread to numerous high schools, middle schools, and elementary schools. When I went to the Colorado School of Mines, a peer approached me about implementing something like Grades for Change at Mines. And my passions kicked in. I immediately jumped on board. Every week, we hosted meetings about the program. We spread flyers across all of campus and sent emails about registration. And every week, no one showed up to any of those meetings, and no one registered. I, being the perfectionist that I was, refused to fail. I just kept going. I pushed through the plan that I had and never stopped to evaluate the big picture because I was scared. I was scared because part of me knew that what I was doing wasn't working, and I wasn't ready to admit the failure. I had never worked so hard on something that didn't work before, and I didn't know how to comprehend the massive rejection. I was embarrassed and ashamed because this was my chance to make a difference, and I was disappointing everyone who believed in me. I learned that going to Mines was a whole new environment. Students cared about completely new things, had completely new interests and needs, and quickly made me realize that as you change your environment, your audience changes as well. In our world today, our environment is constantly changing faster and faster. You can't expect that every idea you have, every solution, to always be a success. Failure is inevitable, but it's not the end of the world. In fact, failure is a huge part of the innovation process, and it should be accepted and embraced even. Instead of being discouraged, while it's easy to be discouraged, it's important to shift your perspective to learn more from failing. One way that you could do this is to realize that there's always something you can learn about yourself from failure. You always learn about your strengths, your weaknesses, your passions, and your desires. Failing with Grades for Change made me realize that I was really good at planning and making visions. I could see the big picture in the long run. But I really struggled with empathizing with my peers at the time. It made me realize that I was passionate about education, but providing access to free tutoring wasn't the only way to follow that passion. Second, it's important to realize that failure and success are not discrete. In our world today, we are so quick to judge ourselves and put ourselves in boxes. Everything is binary. It either succeeds or it fails. We either succeed or we fail. But that's not how our world is today. Our world today is much more complex than that. Success and failure are not discrete. Rather, they are two opposite ends of a spectrum. You could always be more successful, and you could always fail worse. Seeing this gives you the opportunity to iterate on everything, the things that you first perceive as failures and the ones you perceive as successes. It gives you the opportunity to look back and evaluate what worked and what didn't, and build off of what worked and move everything up the spectrum next time. It changes your life and makes life a whole new ballgame. Finally, it's important to recognize, celebrate the time, emotions, and resources you've saved by admitting failure. Passion is a powerful thing. It's a great thing. It's what keeps us motivated. It keeps us excited. But it can blind us. When you're so passionate about something, you're so excited about it, it's really easy to get tunnel vision. You become so attached to the concrete plan you developed that you can't see when it's not working or when there's a better way to achieve the end goal. Admitting that I was unsuccessful with Grades for Change was liberating because it made me realize that admitting failure was a success on its own. It's easy to get caught up on the labels and want everything to always be a success, but in our world today, you're not always going to succeed. Sometimes you'll fail once, and sometimes you'll fail 100 times before you succeed. It's natural to feel discouraged, but instead, I challenge you to shift your perspective and to learn from failure. And with that, my new friends, I welcome you to our UI family, and I encourage you to ask, how might we shift our perspective to learn more from failure? Thank you.